So let's see if we can finish this page, okay, before the class ends, right? Yeah, so for this part, okay, now we cover linear, right? Graphing linear inequality, graphing quadratic inequality for two variables. So we combine them together. Then we call that a system, okay? So solving a system of inequality means graphing each individual inequality and then finding the overlap of the solutions. So you are finding the region where it works for both, okay? Remember when we are doing inequality, we use shading to show where the answers are. So if you have more than one, you want to find which part it will be the answer for both of them, okay? So demonstrate one of them, first question together, okay? And then you can try the other one. You can see the first pair, you have two linears, right? And then same with the second one, right? Question B, also both linears. Question C, you have a quadratic, right? You have a linear, so you could have a mixed. Question D, both of them are quadratic, okay? So quadratic will need more work to get a vertex. Right, so we just follow our steps, right? Step one, we pretend they are both equals, right? Y equal to 2x plus 1, y equals to x minus 1. And let's use different color, okay? So for the first one, I will use the green color. Okay, I'll just use blue, okay? First one. Second one, I use the green to draw, right? It's a straight line, and it's already in the slope y-intercept form, right? So pretty easy. So let's check the slope. Okay, so for line one, Geoffrey, what's the slope and y-intercept? Geoffrey? For first
slope is 2/1 and y-intercept is 1.
Yeah, very good. Okay. And for the second line, Chenier, what's the slope and y-intercept?
The slope is pot is 1/1.
Yeah.
And the y-intercept is -1.
Yeah. Okay. So let's draw that down. Okay. So first thing is to draw. First step is to draw the equal graph, right? The one that has equal. We'll draw first line first. Y-intercept is 1 up to right 1, right? Up to right 1. Okay, and before we start to connect, we need to make sure what kind of line do we draw? As a solid line or a dashed line? Wilson?
Mr. Jason, what was the question?
Solid line or dashed line?
Sorry, what line?
Solid line or dashed line?
It's solid, isn't it?
How do you know?
Because it's straight.
No, not because it's straight. All of them are straight. You have to look at inequality. Okay, look at the question. Do you see an equal sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. If it's equal, if it has an equal sign, then it should be.
If it has equal sign, it should be straight.
Should be solid.
Oh, solid. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
If it doesn't
solid.
have equal sign, then Wilson, if it doesn't have an equal sign,
Then it's the other one. Wait, what is the other one called again?
dashed line.
Dash line. Oh, okay.
Okay, we have two different lines. Okay, make sure your homework you have to show that. This one, they both have equal sign. So it should be solid. Solid means you connect all the points. Okay, if it's dashed line, it will look like this, dashed line. Okay, dashed line means the line is not there, it's invisible. You're just drawing it to show the boundary, right? And then we have to test. Okay, we'll test. Step 2 is to test. We're gonna test 0, 0 for the first line, okay? We plug it in. All right, so is this one, this is our line 1, right? Line 1. So for the 0, 0, is it true or false? Angeline? True or false?
True,
Because,
because 0 is less than 1.
yeah, very good. Okay, so we have a true, all right? So true, 0, 0 is here, right? This is 0, 0, right? This is true. Okay, so that means we should be shading here, right? We're supposed to shade here, but don't do the shading yet. Just keep in mind because we're not done, right? We have a second line. So just make a little note that we are going to shade, oops, we're going to shade the bottom half, okay? So to show the note, we draw an arrow like that. Okay, so I won't forget. Sometimes we forget which side to shade and we have to test again, right? So to shade the bottom half. Now we move on to the second line, okay? Now we test 0, 0, right? See, I'm using the green to test the second one. The second one, we have y greater or equal to x minus 1. Okay, is this true or false? Okay, we need to draw the line yet. We forgot. Okay, we have -1 as a y-intercept. Up 1, right 1. Up 1, right 1. Okay, so the line goes this way. Solid line again. Okay, this is line number 2. Okay, can you raise your hand if you finish both graph? Okay, don't want to go too fast, all right? Please raise your hand if you finish drawing the 2 lines. Okay, so for the 0, 0, for the green line. Okay, 0, 0 for the green line. Is it true or false? Aaron?
It is true.
It is true because,
Because like 0 is greater or equal to -1.
yeah, okay, so true again. Okay, so take a look. 0, 0 is right in the middle, right? So you want to shade the true side. So for the green line, it should be up here, right? Including the 0, 0, but don't do the shading yet. We just draw a little arrow. Okay, so for the blue one, it's everything below the blue. For the green, it's everything above. So your final shading should only be the part where the blue and green, they overlap, okay? You are only shading the overlap region. So the part where they both overlap is this part. So this will be your final answer. Okay, so if you get a system means more than one inequality, okay? You need to do it separately. Think about which side each one is, need to shade, and then you only shade the overlap. Okay, where both region covers. Okay, any question how we get that red part? Okay, Mackenzie, do you have any questions? Mackenzie?
I don't have a question.
Yeah, okay. So remember, only shade the final, don't shade everything, okay? For the green, it looks like this, okay? Green, right? And then for the blue, it looks like this, right? Where it got shaded twice, that's the only part you need to show, okay? The red part is shaded twice. So you only shade the red part. Okay, that's for the system. So if you understand this, we're gonna do question C, okay? Question C has a straight line, has a parabola, all right? So this is your equation 1. This is your equation 2. Okay? Equation 1. And then equation 2. So first one has a parabola, okay? Second one is straight line. So for parabola, you need to change it to APQ, okay? Your standard form. This one is already in APQ form, okay? So you got to move it around a little bit, right? And then once you found the vertex, you can make a table. Yeah, parabola will take a little bit longer. Okay, so please draw the parabola and the straight line. Once you finish the both graph, you can raise your hand. So don't do the testing yet, okay? We'll double check on the graph first. Okay, have you found out the vertex? Okay, Geoffrey, what's the vertex?
I think it's 0, 4.
0, 4. Bernice, what's the APQ form for this one?
I got -1 and then bracket x and then close square
Mm-hmm.
+4.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so this one you just need to reverse the order a little bit, right? So your P is 0. Okay, so our vertex is 0, 4. Okay, you can graph the right hand side, 2 points, left hand side, -1, -2. Okay, get the table. Right, now for the green line. Okay, Tony, what's the slope and y-intercept for the green?
The slope will be t/1, and then the y-intercept will be 0 and 1.
Yep, okay, so which means 0 and 1. Right, so please graph both. After you got both graph, please raise your hand. Okay, Wilson, do you have the table for the problem?
Oh, I'm almost finished. Give me a second.
Okay, let me know when you have it.
Okay.
Now graph the green
My
line.
brain is like laggy. 1 second.
Okay. 0, 1, up to right 1, up to right 1.
Okay, Mr. Sheehan, so for -2, I think it's for -2, is it 0?
Yeah,
And then for -1, is it 5?
no, you have to square, right? Follow the order, square and then times -1 and then plus.
Wait, so is it 3?
Yeah,
And then for 1, is it also 3?
mm-hmm.
And then for 2, it's, hang on. 2, it's also 0. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's symmetrical, right? It's a parabola, so both sides should be symmetrical. Okay, and both of them should be solid line, right? So this
Okay.
green line, linear, you have this line second graph. And then for the parabola, I'll use the blue, 0, 4. How many of you still graphing? Okay, if you are done both graph, please raise your hand. Zero, 4, 1, 3. 1, 3 is here. 2, 0. So this is open down, right? Opens down. the second graph, first graph. All right, so for each one, you need to test. Okay, looks like we can use 0, 0 again, right? It's not on the graph. So test 0, 0 for both. For the green, we also test 0, 0. Okay, find out if it's true or false. You guys can try the shading as well, okay? Remember, only shade the overlap. Okay, this
So,
time,
Mr.
yeah,
Jason, I have a question. If you test 0, 0, then it doesn't make sense because for me, it's just like, do you just plug everything into like the y equals -1 bracket x squared plus 4?
no, you plug it into the question.
Oh, God,
The
so
one
many
that,
bits.
yeah, the one that has inequality. You want to check if the less than, greater than is true or false, okay?
So do we check both of them?
Yeah, you need to do it separately, right? For
Okay.
red and for the blue and the green. Yeah, if you plug it into the equal, then it's always gonna be false. So always plug into the inequality. Okay, if you've already finished shading, please raise your hand. Let me know. So ask.
Wait, Mr. Jason,
yeah.
how can you like once you get the test answers, how do you know if it's like true or false?
You see if what you got is makes sense or not, right? Makes sense means true, right? Correct means true. For example, if you test 0, 0, plug into the first one, what do you have?
I got 0 is less than or equal to 4.
Okay, so does that make sense? Is 0 less than 4?
Yes,
So true or false?
it's true.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, true means correct, right? So once you got is true, right? You think about where do you shade? You shade the true side. That's the rule, okay? Shade the true side. And you do the same thing for the green, okay? Plug in 0, 0, see if it's true or false. And then shade the true side. But you only shade the overlap at the end, okay? Think about where each one will shade and then just cover the shading with overlap. Okay, please raise your hand if you finish shading the overlap. Jenny, could you show on the screen for the first graph, for the blue one, where do you shade?
Like the overlap or just all of it?
Just number one, just number one. If it's,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, okay, very good. All right, so I'm gonna do that. So everything inside, okay? So of course, in the homework, right, you don't need to shade the whole thing. In the homework, you only show the overlap. Okay, right now I'm just drawing it separately. Okay, now for the green one. When we test and do the shading, okay, Henry, can you show on the graph, on the screen? For the green, where do you shade?
Sorry, I'm just getting the pencil thing out.
Yep, no problem. Okay, so everything up there, right? That's what you mean. So did you get
Yeah.
did you get true or false for the green? Henry, did you get true or false?
I got false.
You got false? Okay, so let's try it out. We plug in 0, right? 0 greater than 1, right? 0 is not greater than 1, so false. So 0, 0 is on the bottom side, right? So you have to shade the other side. So you can see the blue color, right? And the green color, where it happens twice, it should be in here. Okay, so the red part is the shading you show on the homework. Okay, do not show any shading that's not in there. Okay, yeah, there you go. Okay, we need to clear this drawing here. Henry, can you help me erase your drawing? Yeah, okay, perfect, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so the red will be your final answer, okay, where they both cover. Okay, I think let's take a look at D, okay? Oh, for question B, you have an interesting graph here, right? Y is greater or equal to 3. Let's talk about just that one, okay? Because I think straight line you're okay, right? Like the one that has the slope. This one doesn't have the slope, right? So if you want to graph this, you pretend it's y equal to 3. Oh, not y equal to 0. Why do I put 0? Y equals to 3, right? You want to graph this one. How do you graph y equal to 3? Kat, how do you graph y equal to 3?
Is it vertically? Like you
Oh.
draw a line.
Okay, how do you draw that? Can you show it on the screen? Okay, so it's a horizontal line. Going this way will be called horizontal, okay? This one passes through the y-axis at 3, okay? So we call this line y equal to 3. Okay, so this is a special kind of line, right? When it goes horizontally. Because any point that you pick from here is always y equal to 3, no matter where, right? The y stays at 3. So, and then now if we want to do the shading, it says greater than. So the shading will be going upwards. Okay, that will be the shading for the second line, okay? So if you get something like x equal to -2, okay? Just an example, right? If you see something like this, then you have to go to x equal to -2, right? This is an x equal to -2, and then you draw the line. Okay, if it's less than or equal to -2, then that's everything to the left. Okay, less than means to the left side, right? Yeah, so for this one, right, the overlap will be the top left corner. Okay, but of course we also have the first line, we didn't do that, right? So just an example on the special one. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so the last bit is we just talk about this one, okay? as a practice, okay? We check because I think now you know how to do the shading, how to get the overlap. I want you to practice how to get the vertex again, right? We have two graphs here. Okay, so I would like you to do for the rest of the time is to change this, both of them, into APQ form, okay? Just want to make sure you guys know how to do that. Okay, that's all, right? And then once you are able to get to vertex form, then you can do the graph by yourself, right? So please change both of them into APQ, okay? And then write out the vertex. We'll double check that, all right? Okay, once you got the vertex, you can raise your hand. Okay, so don't need to graph, all right? Just get to the vertex. Okay, please raise your hand if you have the vertex, the APQ. Okay, Wilson, can you give it a try again for the first one?
Sorry, uh, is it is it x squared
Yeah,
and then minus 3x
yeah.
and then did you close the bracket off?
Not yet. You need to plus.
Plus
You take the middle number,
divided by 2 or
divide by 2.
and then plus
What's
bracket
that
negative
number? What's that
1.5.
number divided by 2? What's negative 3 divided by 2?
Negative 1.5.
Yeah. Square, right?
Yeah. And then you close it off,
Yeah.
and then you do plus, or wait,
Minus.
is it minus or plus?
Minus. Always
Plus and then, okay, minus bracket negative 1.5 squared, and then, what comes next after that?
times the front number.
So times by 1, and then plus 2.
Yeah. Okay. Continue. So what's the form?
Wait, do we get rid of the bracket, or is it still one bracket? Like
One bracket.
one bracket x minus 3, and
No,
then,
you take the last number. Take the minus 1.
oh, so then x minus 1.5 and then bracket squared. And then you do, 1 second.
Yeah.
Let me calculate the back really quickly.
Yeah.
So it's plus 2.25. No, plus 3.25, sorry.
Hmm?
I think, is it plus 3.25?
You have to do the exponent first,
Yeah.
right? Negative 1.5 square.
That's 2.25.
Yeah, but then there's a minus at the front, so it'll be negative 2.25.
Oh, and then times, so negative 2 point, hang on. Then wouldn't it just be plus 0.25,
No,
plus 0.25?
negative 2.25.
Yeah,
You need
times
to
by,
plus, yeah, times 1 is the same, right?
mhm.
And then plus 2.
Yeah, that's minus 0.25.
Okay, so minus 0.25. So what's the vertex then?
How do you find the vertex again? I forget.
The P and the Q. This part is the P. This part is the Q.
So then negative 1.5 and negative 0.25.
1.5.
Oh yeah, 1.5 and then 0.25.
Negative 0.25.
But my question is, how do you draw like 0.25 on like a graph?
Okay.
Because wouldn't that just be too hard to draw?
0.25 is like a quarter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 1.5 will be here. This is 1.5. Negative 0.25, so approximately here. Negative 0.25. A quarter, okay? So yeah, so that's the point. Okay, you have to go back and review how to do APQ, okay? Otherwise your graph will have trouble like getting the vertex.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else got the vertex? How's you are still doing it? The rest of you? Henry, have you got the APQ for the second one?
Yeah, I got for A I got 2, and then P I got negative 1.
You don't have 2.
No, sorry, 1.
1.
Yeah, 1 and
then?
then negative 1 for P.
So x plus 1?
And then I have 0 for Q.
Yeah, okay, plus 0. Okay, very good. All right, so x squared plus 2x plus 1 squared minus 1 squared times 1 plus 1. Okay, so the vertex, Bernice, where's the vertex for second graph?
1 and 0.
0 is right, not 1. P is not 1. P, yeah, because the form is x minus p, right? So the inside you see an x.
Oh, negative 1.
Yeah, okay. If you see a plus 1, p should be negative 1. Okay. So your vertex is at negative 1, 0. Yeah, so things like these, all right, things from the past, Very important, okay? So that's why I do these two questions to help you remember. So your homework will be something like this, okay? Some all about graphing. So again, I will upload the graphing paper, right? So please show all the graph and shading on the graphing paper. I'm just missing 3 homework from Shanier, Wilson, and Tony, okay? Everyone else, I'll see you next week, all right?
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay.
这个什么东西啊？
Bye, Miss.
认到啊？
Thank you.
Okay.
I handed my homework.
Okay. Yeah, so Wilson tonight, right? Okay.
I just handed my homework during break.
Yeah, I saw it. Good job, Kat.
Bye. See
Bye.
you next week.
Yeah, see you. Okay, Tony, do you need any help with the homework?
No, not really.
Okay,
just
just
need-
finishing up.
Just need to graph everything.
Yeah. Okay, Shanier, questions?
I just need to graph it, but like for 17, solved it and it's like y is less than or equal to 12, but it's right, I'm pretty sure, but like I don't like it doesn't have enough like room to graph it.
How to graph it? Then you can go by 2. You write a scale, right, on the grid. You can label, or you can shift, right? You put your 0. Oh yeah, you can shift. You have the axis already, so you can go by 2. You can label, right? 2, 4, 6. Then it should help. It should fit.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.